Imagine stepping into an elevator and suddenly realizing the man standing beside you isn't just rude. He's threatening. He blocks the buttons, mocks you, tells you to smile more. Now, picture that same man tormenting you for years, screaming insults in public, stalking you, even turning your neighbors against you. What he didn't know is that I don't break. Plot. And soon, his name wouldn't be what he thought it was. It would be something far worse. Punchbowl Turd. If you've ever been underestimated, bullied, or harassed, and wished you could serve up the perfect revenge, hit that like button. Subscribe for more stories just like this, because today's tale, oh, it's not just revenge, it's art. When I first moved into this building, I thought I had found a home, a little community, but then came him. I didn't even know who he was at first, just another face in the elevator. But the first time we shared a ride, he pressed himself against the control panel, blocking the buttons like some weird, power-tripping gatekeeper. I said calmly, "Excuse me, can you press 7 for me?" But apparently that wasn't enough. His eyes narrowed and he hissed, "What's the magic word? Don't forget to smile while you're at it." Now imagine this. You're 5'2". You're a woman. You're trapped in a metal box with a man twice your size acting like it's some kind of twisted game of dominance. My chest tightened, my palms went cold. I remember thinking, is he joking? Or am I about to be assaulted in broad daylight? When he finally stepped out, my knees were shaking. I went straight to the front desk, desperate for answers. And that's when I learned who he was. The so-called friend of the guy who ran the place. The same handyman who installed our building's security cameras. In other words, someone with power, someone untouchable. And from that day on, he decided I would be his personal target. Every time he saw me, every single time, he'd sprint over like a kid on a sugar high, scream, "Karen!" at the top of his lungs, and then dart away laughing. He thought it was hilarious. A win. His grand punchline. Now let me clear something up. I'm Arab. I'm not white. I don't have blonde hair. And I have never in my life asked to speak to a manager. In fact, I've spent my life fighting for justice. Tear-gassed twice by the National Guard at protests, standing up for causes that don't even directly affect me. But this man, he saw me. He saw a woman. And he decided to define me with a word I didn't earn, and didn't deserve. For months I brushed it off. I told myself, be kind, rise above, don't give him the satisfaction. But kindness has limits, especially when kindness is met with cruelty. Because soon it wasn't just the lobby. He'd follow me down the street screaming, "Karen!" while my dogs cowered in confusion. Neighbors started whispering. Some laughed. And inside my patience cracked. After a year I couldn't take it anymore. He thought he was clever, untouchable. But he forgot one thing about me. I don't lose wars of words. I'm a Xennial, raised on South Park and sharpened on Law and Order. SVU. My humor is dark. My comebacks, sharper than glass. And one day, inspiration struck from a line burned into my memory. We have a turd in the punch bowl. I repeat, a turd in the punch bowl. So the next time he came charging toward me, bellowing, "Karen!" like it was his battle cry, I spun on my heel, looked him dead in the eye and shouted, "There's a turd in the punch bowl." The silence that followed. Oh, it was delicious. His face drained of color, then flushed red. He stuttered. He blinked. I had just short-circuited his brain. And I didn't stop. Every time he yelled, "Karen!" I yelled back, "Punchbowl Turd." Like clockwork he froze. His expression went vacant, like someone had pulled the plug. Neighbors started noticing, whispering, laughing. Soon his own insult wasn't sticking. But my nickname, that stuck like glue. He tried to turn it around. Said he loved it. Even made a gaming handle out of it. But his face told the truth. Every time it cut deeper. See, revenge is best when it evolves. So I leveled up. I found a greeting card on Etsy. Yes, a literal cartoon turd floating in a punch bowl, and had it mailed to his door. I played a toilet flush sound effect when he was nearby. Once, as the elevator doors closed between us, I called out, "I love you, Punchbowl Turd," knowing he'd stew in that humiliation the entire day. Neighbors joined in. People started calling him Punchbowl Turd to his face. He became the building joke. And then came the lawsuit. Turns out his job wasn't so legit. Remember those security cameras? Installed without consent. Paid for by us, the owners. Not to mention, he had real-time access to the live feeds, watching us whenever he wanted. And my lawyer, oh, she loved hearing about his Karen harassment. She added it to our case, strengthening the RICO claims. Suddenly, Punchbowl Turd wasn't just a nickname. It was Exhibit A. Then came the kicker. Another plaintiff texted me one day, asking what Punchbowl Turd looked like. I sent a picture. The response: "Wait, that's the roofing and plumbing expert the HOA sent to inspect my leaks." He'd been parading around as a fake expert. Another count added to the lawsuit. At this point, the man's reputation was in shambles. His name ruined. His lies exposed. His harassment boomeranged back into legal consequences. And to top it off, word spread that he had to move units temporarily because his place smelled like sewage. Fitting, isn't it? For a Punchbowl Turd. The last time I saw him, he was fiddling with the lobby cameras. I stepped into the elevator, calm, collected. And just before the doors slid shut, I smiled sweetly and said, "I love you, Punchbowl Turd." The fury in his eyes was volcanic. He couldn't scream back. He couldn't win. He had been defeated by his own arrogance, by my words, by the truth. And as those doors sealed, I felt it. Relief. Triumph. Justice. Here's the lesson. Bullies thrive on silence. They think kindness is weakness. But when they push too far, when they cross the line, they forget that some of us are smarter, louder, and a whole lot funnier. Don't start a game if you can't handle losing. If this story gave you chills or a laugh, smash that like button. Drop a comment below. What's the best nickname you've ever heard someone get stuck with? And of course, subscribe for more stories where karma isn't just real, it's brutal.